Hey, friends and fam. I wanted to jump on here and talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on with us, but also share my experience with not just what we're doing, but the process of making decisions. So I'm going to give people a moment to kind of hop on here. I'm hoping that this would be fruitful and beneficial for any and everyone who has the time to actually jump on here because I'm taking the time to share with you guys from the heart what is some things that I've come across. You know, as a father, as a husband, as a small business owner, there are many decisions that I deal with on a daily basis, as many of you do as well. Especially if you are any of those three things or even one of those three things or all of those three things, there are going to be a number of decisions that you have to make, and you cannot allow anyone else to make them because they are your responsibility. And I think this applies to any and everyone. And I want to talk about being decisive amid uncertainty. So, what does that look like? Well, obviously, I've shared in my 3:30 a.m. lives that I've been reading this book, and it has definitely helped me come to some vital conclusions on my own journey, and the way I'm walking out and making decisions as a leader within my household, within my community, within my business. And what I've seen often is that there are going to be tons of decisions to be made. And no one else has the responsibility of making those decisions but me. Now, granted, my wife definitely is part of the decision making process. As the old adage goes, the husband may be the head of the household, but the wife is the neck that turns the head. So she definitely has influence in there. But overall, it's my responsibility to direct us in whatever the path is that we are going next. And since we work together, that also stems into our business. So that being said, there are tons of important decisions to make. I just made another one today. And of course, it's a financial commitment. Also, it's a commitment to the long-term success of our business, but it's an important thing. And I can't just leave it there and not actually make a move on it. Because the longer we actually wait to make that move, our opportunities dry up, they dwindle, they go away. And it's just that simple. So I know I'm getting a glare off of this. Forgive me. I'm super blind without my glasses. So that's one thing you'll come to learn. But we're talking decisiveness amid uncertainty. And life has tons of important decisions. So there are four main points that I want to kind of cover as I have your ear, your attention. And I want you to stick around for all of them because each point is as important as the previous point, or more so, depending on where you're at in this walk. Number one, do not act blindly. Whatever your decision to make is, you should not make it in haste or act blindly as though this decision is not going to have consequences. It will have good consequences and it will have bad consequences, whatever it is. You shouldn't take longer picking out what you're going to drink from Starbucks than you should on these important decisions. And you shouldn't just go with your very first option on anything because you would not get to the actual value that you're seeking by doing that. I'll give you an example. when we got rid of our Jeep, our first offer was like 17,000, and we could have took that, or we could have kept looking. Now, there's always the inclination that you just want to get this over with and you want to make the fast decision. But that's where discernment comes in. And you have to understand that the bigger the decision, the longer you should actually dwell on it and really invest your time into doing as much research as possible. So, long story short, we went to about 4 different car dealerships and got 4 separate appraisals, all on paper, to verify what each one of them was offering us for the Jeep. We ended up getting rid of the Jeep for 21,000. We came up 4 grand from our original offer. Yeah. Had we made the first decision, we would have been in debt for the 4 grand. But in being deliberate, doing the research, and making a decisive decision that we are going to do this, but we are going to do it the correct way, we were able to make the right decision. And ultimately, we came out ahead. So don't act blindly or hastily when making these decisions, because that's going to lead to a downfall. Take your time to make these decisions, gather all of the information necessary. Which leads me to point number 2, and I'll back this up with scripture. It says, lean on wisdom and understanding when you make decisions. So what do I mean as in I'll back this up with scripture? Well, I'm going to back it up with scripture. So bear with me one moment as I share with you from James chapter 1, verse 12, and it says, blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial. So you're remaining steadfast, for when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life, which God promised to those who love him. So actually, I read you the wrong one, and I apologize for that. This is the one I meant to read from Isaiah chapter 30, verse 21. And it says, and your ears shall hear the word behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. When you turn to the right or the left, or walk in it, when you turn to the right or when you turn to the left. So you'll hear that voice of wisdom telling you, this is the way to walk into it. And then there's also another verse which I should have pulled up that says there is wisdom in having a multitude of counselors. And there's definitely wisdom in having a multitude of counselors so that you can make the very best decision for yourself possible. But when you know the way, you have gained that wisdom, that knowledge, that understanding, know to walk in it and go straight down the straight and narrow. Don't look to the right, don't look to the left. Don't worry about what he's doing, what he's doing, what he's doing, what she's doing, what they're doing. Forget about it. You need to worry about what you're doing. So this is the way, walk in it. Brings me to my third point, and that is that it will be tough, but decision making is a necessity in life. And being that it's a necessity, you have got to own the outcome, whether it's good or whether it's bad. The outcome, you just have to acknowledge and own it. Sometimes you're going to make the wrong choice. Sometimes you're going to make a great choice. if you go ahead and you do your due diligence, you seek the wisdom that is necessary, you seek as much understanding that is necessary, you take your time in making the decision, and when you do it, you act decisively, and I guarantee you, more often than not, you will see positive outcome from the choices that you make. But should you do the opposite, where you don't seek wisdom or counsel because all you think is that you have the answers and everything that you need to know is in here, that's a recipe for disaster. You add to that that you act blindly, you act hastily, you go ahead and you make a decision without even thinking about it, or you think more about what you're going to eat for dinner than you do on this decision that may cost you thousands of dollars, then it's a recipe for disaster. You would be lucky to make the right choice in that point. So make sure you couple all these things together when you make a decision. And lastly, don't wait and see. This is a pitfall that many people fall into all the time. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. Listen, for one, that's weak. Two, it doesn't work. And three, you're really being pathetic in that mindset of wait and see. Because you're failing to act, you're failing to take the lead, you're failing to charge ahead into the uncertainty because you are afraid. You don't even know why you're afraid, but you're afraid. Listen to me, my friend. That fear is not real. It is something that is made up in your head, that is put there to stop you from being great. It is there to stop you from making the decision to change your future and to change your life. And it's not put there by God. So that is a decision of being reactive rather than proactive. And if you have followed anything in life or learned anything, every time you've been reactive instead of proactive, I guarantee if you reflect on it, it didn't turn out in your favor. So why would it do it now? Albert Einstein said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different outcome. But that's insane to wait and see. Go ahead and make the choice and then own the choice. Whether you're right or you're wrong, own it. Every bit of it, because that's your choice. And guess what? You get to make the choice. And it's your responsibility if you're leading others to make the choice, and don't let them make it for you, because then you're not leading anyone. Anyways, those are some helpful tidbits on being decisive in the face of uncertainty. And for me, they've helped me act and be proactive rather than go ahead and resigning myself to the fears that I have, because I have fears like anyone else. I just choose not to live in them. I see them and I acknowledge them, and then I make a decision and I walk straight into them. And that is what we are called to do as Christians as we walk in faith. Is we're supposed to see the fear and walk into it. There's a verse, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. There you go. That's God speaking to you right there, saying, hey, you see it, walk straight through it, for I am with you. And friends, that's the only choice we really have. Anyways, I hope this has been helpful, beneficial. If it has, let me know. I would love to go ahead and start a dialogue. I would love to talk to you. If you are seeking help and you want to make a decision on your life, you're looking for life coaching, you're looking for leadership coaching, I offer that. If you're looking for health, nutrition, any ways that we can help you, we are here to listen. We are here to help you. It doesn't hurt to contact others who may be able to help you, because I've done it and I've contacted those who are able to help me. And thank God that I did. So humble yourselves and reach out. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go enjoy some time with my daughter. Have an amazing